Hey there, you guys, what's going on? In this video, we're going to create this increment counter. We're going to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to create this project. Before we start, I would like to ask you to subscribe my channel and leave me a comment if you have any feedback, if you have any questions, and if you have any request for me to make you a specific project in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, just leave me a comment and I'm going to make it for you in a very short time. Thank you guys for your support, and let's start. Alright guys, now let's start the project. I'm going to create a folder here and I'm going to call it counter. Inside the folder, I'm going to right click, open the terminal, and I'm going to run my VS Code using code dot. And inside my VS Code, I'm going to create my index.html. style.css, style.css, and script.js. Let's create the HTML snippet. We're going to call it increment counter. And well, first let's go for the robotophones and get the link from here. I'm gonna put it in the head tag. I'm gonna write a comment and say fonts. Let's say Google fonts, and I'm gonna paste it down here. Now what I need is the icons from box icon, so I'm gonna type box icon usage first. Now let's go. So you're going to have boxicon.com/usage. This is the right URL, and you should go down for this link, usage as a font, import the CSS. You're going to copy this link and paste it right under the Google Fonts box icon. This is it. Now let's add the CSS file. I'm going to bring my style.css, and that's it. Now we are all set up. Inside the body, I'm gonna type h1 increment counter, and I am going to run the project. Very good. So let's start creating the I'm gonna erase this h1, and I'm going to create a div with the class of wrapper. Inside wrapper, I'm going to create a div with the class of counter container, and container. So counter container, counter dash container. Inside that, we're going to use an icon from Font Awesome, and this icon actually should be the first one. I want it to be for the Twitter. Or let's say Instagram. And the next one is YouTube. So I'm gonna create another div with counter container, and I'm gonna copy this one. Let me make a comment, counter. So this is counter number 1, and counter number 2, and number 3. And the last one is gonna be Facebook. Perfect. So now I have 3 icons, as you can see, but we're gonna have to add some other HTML elements. Under the icons, we're gonna add a div with the class of counter, and we're gonna actually add a data attribute right here, data target. which is going to contain the number of Instagram followers, and we're going to just write 4,000, or let's say 10,000. All right, now this is added right here. And in the data target, you're going to add 10,000, and eventually we're going to get it from here. So now let's go for a span. For the span, we say Instagram followers. And for the next one, which is YouTube, we're going to add a 5,000 subscriber. Don't forget to change the data target as well. And here we say YouTube subscriber. And the last one is Facebook, which is going to be 8,000. And let's change the data target, 8,000. And we're gonna type here Facebook follower or Facebook fans. So that's it. Now let's go for CSS style. Before we do anything, we're gonna have to add a default style, margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing should be border box. Now let's go for body, and for the body, we're going to have a background color of 040E30 and a color of F8, F8, F8. We're going to give it a font family of Roboto and a height of 100 view height. Display should be flex, and justify content should be center, and align items center. Now for the wrapper, which is actually the div that contains all of these counters, we're gonna add a display of grid. Grid template columns is gonna be repeat and 3, 1FR, and let's say justify content is gonna be center, and align items should be center. Now we have a counter container, which actually contains an I tag, a div, and span. Let's style it. Counter container. Display should be flex, and flex direction should be column. So they stand above each other, and justify content should be center, and align items should be center. Margin should be 30 pixels, and text align should be center. Very well. Now let's select this counter container, and let's say the I tag inside them should have a font size of 50 pixels. So the icons are now bigger. Now let's select, let's go for the counter, the number in the counter. It should be it should have a font size of 60 pixels. It should have a margin top of 10 pixels, and the font weight should be 600. Very well. Now I think we need to make it responsive, because when we shrink the page, they look very ugly. Actually, the numbers cannot be seen correctly. So let's use media query, media screen, and max width. Okay, now let's check what the max width should be. So I'm gonna shrink it using inspect. All right, now I'm gonna shrink it down to 765 pixels. Okay, now we say max width 765 pixels. If it's that you should, the wrapper, this one, I'm going to copy this one here. Let's erase these ones because we don't want to change them. But this number from 3 should be 2, and we have now 2 columns, as you can see. So when it reaches the width of 765, then we have 2 columns. And by the time we get to, let's say, 500, yes, 500, I'm going to copy this one, write 500 here, and I'm going to change this one to, I'm going to erase the whole thing here and write 1FR. So now this is responsive and it looks better. All right. Now I can make it smaller. Very good. Okay. Now let's go for the JavaScript code. All right, now let's go for the JavaScript code. But before we go for that, we're gonna add the script tag right above the ending body tag, and we should add an src right here. And that's it. Let's test our JavaScript code. Console.log hello. See if it works. Let's go to our console, and yes, it works. Perfect. Now, the next thing, I'm going to erase these numbers, these hard-coded numbers, and we're going to bring them back later. All right, now let's go for our counters. Const counter is equal to document query selector all, and we're going to select all the counters. So see here we have counter, 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 the divs that actually contain the actual number. So we selected all of them. And now let's go for counter, and we're going to say for each counter, we are going to initialize the counter's text to the string of 0. So we say counter.inner text is gonna be 0. And be careful, you're gonna put it actually inside these quotation marks, so it's a string. And let's now create the function to update the counter's value gradually. All right, let's say const date counter is gonna be an arrow function, and let's get the target value from the data target, and the target attribute, and we're gonna convert it to a number. And we say const target is gonna be the counter, and we're gonna use get attribute, and it's gonna be the attribute of data target, which is the one right here. So actually we are getting these, we are getting our numbers from here. And now we have, by default, we have the value of 0. But here, let me show you something before we move on. Now we actually set this target to get the value from the attribute of data target. Now, if I say console.log the target, you see that sorry, I think we need to call the function outside here, because if you don't call the function, it's not going to show up. Very good. Now you can see that here we have the number of 10,000. So this is the 10,000, 5,000, 5,000, and 8,000. Right here you can see it. And if we actually ask for the type of target, you see that we have strings. So we say, if you ask to console log the type of target and the actual targets, so you say it says that we have 3 strings, and each string has this value. Now, there should be a way in JavaScript for us to convert this string to number. There are actually many ways, but I'm going to use the simplest one, which is actually adding a plus sign right here. And if you use this plus sign at the beginning of your this counter, it's gonna change the type of your variable from string to number. All right, now let's move on. Let's get the current value of the counter, and we're going to converting it to a number. So we say const c is gonna be counter. Again, I use the plus number because I want it to be a number, and inner text. Now let's say calculate an incremental step for animation. Now we see const increment, which is actually our variable that holds this mathematical operation. We say target should be divided by 200. Now, if we actually divide the target by 200, let's console log the increment. Now you can see that we have 50, 25, and 40. And as you can see here, 10,000 divided by 20 is actually 50. And 5,000 divided by 200, 25, and 8,000, 40. Now, we need to write a condition here. We say if c, our variable right here, is less than the actual value of target, you need to update the counter's value, ensuring we round up the number. How can we ensure we round up the number? Because sometimes when you actually divide the number, it can be 25.5, and we don't want to do that. We don't want that happen. So we can say counter.inner text. We're gonna use backticks here, and we use actually the math function and the ceil function actually with math method, and we're gonna say c plus increment. Now using this ceil, if our number has a 0.5, it's gonna round it up to a straight number. All right, now let's call the update counter again after 1 millisecond to create a smooth animation. We're going to use set timeout. We're going to call the update counter and update counter, and we're going to give it a 1 milliseconds. So now if I refresh, it starts over, and if I just decrease this number, it's going to go faster. If I increase it, it's going to go slower, as you can see. But I think the standard number would be 200. Very well. If this tutorial helped you out, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any future tips, and let's keep growing together. And hey, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below, tell me your thoughts, share your questions, or just say hi. I reply as many comments as I can. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.